everybody. Welcome to Superman and Lois TV Talk. This is our episode for the Superman and Lois episode, the Best of Smallville. I'm Derek.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Robin.
And with us this week is a friend of the longtime friend of the show, super friend of the show, you might say, Mr. Craig Byrne of Krypton Site and K-Site TV. How are you, Craig?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me on this week.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
We haven't done a podcast together in a while.
It's been a minute.
But
probably since Krypton was on the air.
Krypton?
You a Krypton?
R.I.P. Krypton.
Uh-oh.
So this is the Best of Smallville, so clearly we're talking about Insurgents this week. All our favorite
we're talking
episodes.
about Fortune.
Not Justice? We're not talking about Justice.
We're talking about Ageless?
Doing Noir?
Yeah.
Are we doing Noir? What was the Jimmy Spy? Sleeper. We doing Sleeper?
Sleeper.
Yeah.
No, we're doing none of those. I forgot to bring
Spell.
I got a mason jar specifically to drop a quarter in every time we made a reference, and I left it. Didn't bring it with me. Shoot. Oh well. Next time after the hiatus, which is in 2 months, by the way. I
am outraged. What does the CW think they're putting in the place of Superman and Lois? What is taking that slot on the calendar? I demand to know.
That other podcast you do.
It's a great show. You should definitely watch and listen.
I hear they're coming back for a final season.
That's what I hear. Coming Tuesdays at 9 on the CW.
Frank doesn't get a break. Robin and I will see you guys in a couple months.
Oh, yeah.
I will see you over at supergirltvtalk.com.
Hey, it's almost over. I don't mean that negatively. I just mean like...
Yeah, I'm like what? You're
no, I just
relieved?
mean like after 6 years, it's coming to an end
I know.
for you.
No,
That's
it's
gotta be
bittersweet,
bitter.
you know?
That's
It's
gotta be
bittersweet.
There's no 218 episodes.
It's no
Yeah.
218
No,
episodes.
it's not. But yeah, it's bittersweet for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, this week we're talking about the last episode for a few weeks. Episode 105, The Best of Smallville. Robin has 87 pages worth of notes. So
Yes.
We always have a lot to talk about on the podcast. And first and foremost, we should get into actually a kind of a serious bit of news. We found out last night, the folks from Superman and Lois started putting out the word that their first aid attendant, Tara McAteer, was apparently riding her bicycle to set when she got involved in a hit and run accident. Like, hopefully they caught whoever this person is. But meanwhile, poor Tara is in the hospital. She apparently is not going to be able to walk until like even July, or at least attempt to walk. So, they're putting together a fundraiser to raise money for a motorized scooter to help her out because, I'm sure, here we are about to hit this huge hiatus because of the coronavirus. And I'm sure Tara was right in the midst of it, helping out the cast and crew. So we definitely should, rally our forces to help Tara out and get her a nice motorized scooter. And so I'm assuming Frank or Derek will be putting a link to the GoFundMe
Yes.
in our show notes. So we really hope you reach out and donate, and let's get her that scooter.
it's also, I think Robin retweeted it on our Twitter, the first link that went out. So yeah, we would love to see you guys help out. We'll definitely be helping out as well. I'm going to donate to this fundraiser for Tara. It's a terrible thing to see happen, and we wish her and hers the best through this ordeal. It's terrible. And then piggybacking off something you just said, which I didn't realize this, and Craig might be able to weigh in on this a little bit more. I didn't realize that the show had a COVID outbreak, and that was heavily influenced. This hiatus was heavily influenced by that.
I wasn't aware of it either. I suspect it might even be that COVID just made the show production later than it was going to be, because I know when they went back to production, certain things were delayed because they didn't have access to testing like they thought they would, things like that. So it might have been COVID related and not been a direct case, but either way, they didn't have more than a certain number of episodes ready. Plus, it's an effects heavy show, and to knock that out week after week can be kind of hard. So maybe it's best to take a break, especially if they had 7 episodes of Supergirl in the can, or however many there were.
Yeah. It is funny. COVID was definitely on my mind as I was watching this episode, thinking, "Oh man, something must have happened." And the second to last scene of this episode is a scene between Jordan and Sarah, who are definitely sitting 6 feet apart from each other on the Cushing porch. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing, not just this production, but many television and movie productions, to see how they were able to pull off creating movies and TV shows in the midst of this crisis. So
it has become, I guess, if you're watching for it in a lot of instances, like I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed, after watching 15 years of Supernatural, I enjoyed the series finale. A lot of people did not, but it was very evident that COVID played a role in what the ultimate outcome of that episode was. And I'm sure it would have been tremendously better had that not been the case. But in watching network shows over the last few months that have come back into production post-COVID, or in the midst of COVID, rather, I guess, you start seeing these, well, there's only one person on screen at a time, and they're not really together, and, stuff like that. So and then once you start seeing that stuff, you can't unsee it either, so it kind of ruins it.
Well, sometimes we have these shows like the CBS procedurals where they are wearing masks still on the show. And that's going to be really weird to see in reruns 20 years from now. But also, I feel like they're kind of inconsistent with it. Like, they'll have a mask in one scene and then not in the next,
Yeah.
Even if it's with another person.
I've noticed that on SVU, that they'll have them and then they won't have them. And then I'm like, well, pick a lane.
Yeah, I watched the 911 shows, and it seems like they're really, trying to show that they're wearing masks and everything, but they're also like wandering in and out each other's apartments and houses, and I'm like, how are you guys doing this?
Yeah, I noticed that on Superstore a lot. They'll have the staff of the store, wearing masks, especially when they're talking to customers and stuff. But then when the staff are talking to each other, they'll come indoors and take off their masks.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But it's a whole new world.
It you know what? Yeah, and it's inevitable that it would impact the production of some of these shows. I guess the bright side of it is that at least we're going from one super show to another. So at least we've got that in the.
Was it Supernatural coming back?
Yep, that's the one. That's the one, Robin.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They could just run the 20 episodes of Krypton. I mean,
you know what? I can't argue with you there.
I've watched every minute of it again.
I would.
Might be what I do during the break, just to offset this hiatus a little bit.
Yeah. Hey,
well, aren't there a few Smallville episodes you hadn't actually podcasted about yet? So maybe you can.
Yeah, get on that.
Yeah, get on that.
What kind of backwards ass way was that of telling me to do something? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do something?
Hey, why don't you entertain me? Why don't you
yeah. Well, have me on.
Trying to put a quarter in me?
Have me on.
Let's do the Hex podcast 10 years later.
Oh, there it is. There you go.
Well, before we do anything else, let's talk about the most recent Superman and Lois episode.
Oh, yeah. The Best of Smallville. Wait. It's a Superman and Lois episode. It's called The Best of Smallville. But, we find out later why it's called that. And it's basically the chocolate bacon. The story is by the showrunner, Todd Helbig, and it's directed by Rachel Talalay, who I didn't really know about, but holy cow, is this woman a legend? Speaking of legends, she directed CW shows like Legends, Supergirl, Flash. She did a couple episodes or one episode of Doom Patrol. She was the first U.S. director to direct an episode of Doctor Who. Actually, I think she directed several. She's directed Sherlock, Ally McBeal, and right at the bottom of her IMDb, I noticed that she directed both Tank Girl and Freddy's Dead. So I love these movie credits that some of these directors have, and I'm like, oh wow, that's the same person that directed Tank Girl directed this episode of Smallville. That's cool. Or Smallville, the best of Smallville. Superman
the
and Lois,
Smallville episode
in the jar.
Yeah, we need that jar. All right, so I've kind of broken down the episode into various chunks to kind of focus our conversation as usual. And really the first thing I want to talk about is Harvest Fest and Martha Kent, Clark's happiness about Harvest Fest and remembering his youth. So the episode kind of starts off with we see Superman doing some extra work, and it turns out that he's putting in a little extra overtime so he could have a nice guilt-free weekend at the Harvest Fest, which he is crazy about. He loves Harvest Fest.
It's very, very giddy for Harvest Fest.
He does the dorky dad thing so well. Like he is maybe Tyler might be at his best when he's doing the dorky dad thing. The excited. Oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
The news footage, by the way, was brought to us by DPN, which I assume stands for Daily Planet Network.
Daily Planet
or
News
Daily
Network?
Planet.
I mean, that's not. I mean, we've seen. Well, we saw in the pilot they had that. I mean, obviously that's from what is that Byrne era comics? Craig, you can speak to that.
I don't know. Wrong Byrne.
No, well,
Well, I know
knows
GBS Galaxy Broadcasting System was the one in the comics for a while, but
There might be a GBS for real in the real world that they might not want to.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I know in the pilot in the vending machine scene, when Clark tips it over so Lois can get the thing out, and we see Morgan Edge on the TV in the background, that's a Daily Planet news report ticker going across the bottom there. So it's been established, I guess, but yeah, not a whole lot has been shown about it other than.
It's the Dolly Parton network.
Those quick moments. It's only on from 9 to 5, though. So.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Well, that wins. Okay, we can just hang it up now. That was a good one. I love it.
Whoa! We got high tech on this show. We got rim shots and everything.
Yeah, my next thought in my notes, I was just thinking about how cool is it to like realize you're the son of Superman and then just be like watching the news and seeing your dad like rescue a satellite dish. Did you see that one shot of Superman basically flying a cruise ship through Metropolis in the air?
I loved that. I'm not gonna lie, I did love
Holy
that.
cow! So yeah, I can't imagine.
It was a bit of foreshadowing. He actually had to fix the Suez Canal directly after that.
Hey.
This is a question I didn't think I'd end up repeating on this podcast. Why does Clark Kent need gloves?
He's worried if like Lana or a neighbor comes by and they see him working in the yard.
Yeah,
they want to make
That's
sure. Do I get a Baldy Award for that?
Yes,
that's the ticket.
I'll say, as much as I enjoyed watching, Superman Feats of Strength on TV and watching Jordan and Jonathan watch their father do all that, as you said, that's got to be a really surreal feeling. I liked watching him fly through the cornfields and gather up all the heart. Like that was good to me alone, right there.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this whole like opening montage. I'm like, hey, we're finally seeing some farming, and look at Clark is just flying through the fields.
Well, that first shot of the tractor plowing, I was like, is he finally doing something? Is there farming happening?
So besides Clark geeking out about Harvest Fest, it brings up some memories of the past. So shall we talk about basically a mini episode of Smallville inside this? But things are, I don't know, a little different. Clark seems a little colder.
Well, what I found a little odd is there was a reference to him being older than how Jonathan and Jordan are now, but that kid looked like 3 years younger.
Yeah,
than
he looked much
Jonathan
younger.
and Jordan.
He did look younger.
He was like CW 12.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like 18 for real, but you know.
Big question coming out of this flashback is: did Clark Kent not graduate high school? Because it seems like he is leaving town at age 15 to
Was
me.
it,
I don't know.
Was it?
He got an art scholarship in Paris after junior year.
Oh no.
Was it? I think it was Birthright where he left before high school ended and got his GED while on the road.
Yeah, you're right,
while
actually,
on
Derek.
foot
Yeah.
and traveling
That's right.
around. So I wonder if they. I would be totally down to see some Clark flashbacks of him abroad.
Want to see him
forward.
abroad?
What? I want to see him as abroad. No. Yes,
That's next week.
That's
which is
next
place-
week. It comes back. My name is Cara Zor-El. I've been doing this monologue for 6 years.
So anyway,
Wait, do you need transition? Robin, do you need transition?
No, I was trying to stay in the flashback area, but did you have something to talk about in there?
No, he's just
No, I
got
just had
buttons he wants to push.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Meanwhile, back in the flashback,
Meanwhile.
Clark is trying to make a bowling shirt work. He just
Pulling
gives right up.
it off.
He was busy watching Lex Luthor on 2.5 Men, and it's like, I'm going to dress like Charlie.
I had my bowling shirt
ready.
phase.
He was picking out his Soul Asylum attire, man. He was trying to find something to wear to the concert.
I'm going to start thinking about dates. It's going to be really...
Yeah, don't start doing that.
Don't do the math.
When we
don't
have
do
a
math.
hiatus, we could get back into it a little bit.
Let's just not do math anymore. Let's just accept that what they're doing and talk about the unfortunate reflection in young Clark's window when he had that giant nose later in the episode. Did you see that? You can't.
No.
The kid's got a normal face. Nothing against the kid, but there's a shot when Martha comes in and apologizes in his bedroom later in the episode. He's got his reflection in the window, and his nose is like 8 times the size of what it normally is, and it's kind of hilarious if you.
Well,
So
maybe
you're
they're trying to say
Jor-El
something.
was a reflection in episode 2 as well?
Yeah. Hey, I appreciated that I saw someone who looked like myself on screen in a Superman suit.
Sure.
That's all
sure.
I'm going to say for that. I appreciated that.
Yeah. Clark, it really killed me, the fact that Martha had to come and apologize to Clark, because I really didn't think Martha needed to. She was pointing out that, she's doing the thing that the Kents usually do. Is like, hey, don't get into any trouble. You get discovered and it's all over. They don't want him running out at age 15 or so, stopping crimes in a ski mask. And he, and the last line to her right before she comes back and apologizes to him is, well, I'm pretty sure that reason wasn't to be Martha Kent's son.
Oh,
Really?
oh God!
I know. It's
Like
so
to
painful.
take that, like the classic, like you're here for a reason line, that beautiful line that, echoes through lots of Superman mythology, and then just be like, yeah, and that reason's not to be Martha Kent's son. I wasn't happy with young
I
Clark.
wanted to be like, listen to you, little shit. Sit down.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her that way.
You have some respect for Martha.
Why
have
did
some
you say
respect.
that name?
Oh boy.
So he's leaving town now. Who makes the costume?
Yeah.
Mm.
Guess when he comes
It doesn't.
back.
Well, doesn't it just kind of like open up like a automatic closet when he walks into the fortress?
Yeah. No. Depends on your medium, I guess. And why isn't he in the black suit? No. From the standpoint of, obviously we've seen multiple iterations where Jonathan's dead, from the original Donner film to Smallville to the Snyderverse, and it's we see Martha grieve in some instances, but we also have to see her be strong for her son. But then this is less than a year, or it was right at a year since Jonathan's death in this episode.
Yeah,
something along those
right.
lines said. My God, it's still got a sting. And then you've got him not only being, yes, a teenager and trying to find his place in the world, even more so than a normal hormonal teenager would be trying to find his or her place in the world. But I just felt so bad for her through this entire episode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard not to, right? I mean, she was especially because this show is so much of it is through the eyes of Clark as a parent, Clark and Lois as parents. To look at Martha as a parent and to knowing the struggles that we've seen Clark go through raising his boys, and then watching Martha go through that and seeing Clark behave in a way that he is disappointed in himself, and looking back on it retrospectively, it has a totally different weight to it, than it might have in any other Superman show.
I like that. I mean, obviously, I do enjoy the element of the flashback because we didn't get to see really this Clark with Martha and Jonathan growing up, except for in the use of montage. But I mean, I'd like to see a little of this Clark with Jonathan too at some point.
Sure.
And I don't guess they could do it too much because that kid's going to start aging past the point where Jonathan would be dead anyway. But it's just when they're sitting on that bench and she says the train's going to be there soon, and he just says nothing, and then he just gets up and leaves, and I'm like,
yeah,
hug that poor woman, just give her, just because look, if you know me, Superman the movie, the pivotal point, and one of the most pivotal points in that entire film is when he leaves. And they're out among the cornfields, and that sweeping, leaving home Williams theme starts, and my God, and he, just embraces her so tightly, and this was just the complete antithesis of that. Like, it was just, Craig, dear God. I was all into what I was talking about. I look up, and he's telling me to put the 27-inch, really expensive TV back.
Craig's wearing a ski mask.
Why did you just have that handy? I don't want to know. That's not answer that.
Disguise. Young Clark.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, I thought it was your Sam Raimi Spider-Man disguise from the beginning of the movie.
It's actually a Black Hood from Riverdale, but
I was going to say, I'm more worried why it's just handy at the desk there.
Very expensive CRTs in the back of his truck.
You just drop in on a random Zoom calls dressed up in a ski mask.
Hand over the VCRs or your toast.
What did you think about Clark being the hero at that age and still running around and doing his thing?
It was very Superboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It did give some Spider-Man, the ski mask, and also he tells these crooks to put the merchandise back, but this other crook just turns and runs.
Yeah,
and
I saw the third
is he
guy
gonna
get
go
away.
kill Uncle Ben?
I was like, he's gone, man. Uncle Ben's dead.
He's gonna go kill Uncle Ben.
I do appreciate that they had vintage TVs that looked like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looked like the loot from the first Fast and the Furious movie.
Or the first Spider-Man, which is 20 years ago now. Just crazy.
NZX TVs, by the way. I was like, is that Mitzel? Is it something?
That's Canadian.
NZX? I don't know. So it's established in this episode, by the way, that Harvest Fest has been around since 1949, ever since the town of Smallville was established. And I know there's some trivia around that, but also I'm thinking Smallville seems like an older town.
Yeah, it seems weird that came
especially because they talk about the generations and. The Kent House alone looks over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, 1949 is the first mention of Smallville. It's in the Superboy comics. It's Smallville, USA, when we first.
But I know there were comics about the Kent ancestors in the 1800s.
Right.
At one point,
they were just in the plains of Kansas. I guess I don't know. It was a cool reference for that. But yeah, it's Smallville. Much seems like a town that's been around since 1884 or something.
Right. Tell me again how no one ever figures out that he's not Superman unless he's wearing glasses. Tell me again how that's just
it's
I don't know.
People.
If we can just I don't know. It's
because
flying man.
There's no math involved in whether or not Clark looks like Superman.
That's it.
And when math is involved, Robin then becomes.
Frank, they said it. They give me this and I have to think about it. I can't just like, oh God, whatever.
You're right.
I love the fact that Clark says in this episode about the boys, he's comparing the whole boys at least Jonathan wanting to leave home to when he left home. And he says the line, "It feels like they were just born."
Yes.
Well,
that was for us, right? That was for the audience.
Wink.
Wink.
Boys.
But, by the way, I wanted to ask you guys, and no cheating, especially if you already know this, without looking. Okay, the actor Dylan Kingwell plays young Clark. What other big CW character did Dylan play the younger version of, do you think?
I know he was on The 100. Was it a character from The 100?
Nope.
Huh.
I mean, maybe that was another one, but...
Tommy Merlin.
Nope.
Ray Palmer.
Nope.
Was it somebody in the Arrowverse, or was it a young Dean or Sam?
They had like 8 of those.
Derek, you just said it. It was young Sam Winchester from Supernatural.
They only had like 9 different young Sams over the course of 15
He was one
years,
of them.
So. Fair enough.
Also wanted to shout out Michelle Scarabelli. We didn't mention her in the pilot. She's the lady that plays Martha Kent. And I looked at IMDb credits. We were looking over them before the show, but wanted to tell everybody, like, hey, if you like Airwolf, she was in season 1. She was like a main character for the first season.
She voiced the helicopter in season 1.
She starred in a show that I used to watch when I was a kid. It was only a 1 season, but it was the Alien Nation TV series. And she also played Derek. She didn't play Derek. She played.
She did, and she did a better job than I did.
Tyler Hoechlin played Derek.
He did.
She played Abby Morgan's mother on Dawson's Creek. So, well, in at least one episode. So, the only other things I have are like kind of like favorite moments from this one section. I like the fact that like Clark is geeking out about the Harvest Fest, and Lois says, "I've been hearing about it since we first started dating." And Jonathan says, "Bedtime stories help you sleep." Lois like bursts out laughing, and Clark's like, "Hey."
I love it. She like stares at her feet. She's like, "Oh, sorry."
It's like Will Ferrell and Step Brothers. Hey, you don't say that.
I do love Lois's line, "Your dad's not Superman just because he has powers, you know." And I was like, that's right. And then all of a sudden Clark goes, "Aw, thanks, baby." And I was like, that
You leave him
sit right
alone.
with me.
He's so pure. He's too pure for
That's the thing. He's so cheesy, but he's so pure.
good, sweet little cinnamon roll. Too pure for this world. I love their chemistry, and it has only gotten better.
It's great.
It has only gotten better on the show, and it wasn't that they. I've talked about the pre-crisis version of them and the post-crisis version on the show recently, and how much more they have delved into their characters together and worked on that together versus what you saw in Elseworlds or Crisis. But it just really, again, Robin talking last week's episode, how those quiet moments between them are some of the most meaningful of the entire series, when they're, reconciling what's going on around them, whether it be raising teenage sons or, the death of a parent or some, guy in a suit trying to murder you. It's it's really they managed to make it all seem very grounded.
Well, I really think the entire family all have chemistry with each other.
Yes.
Like the 2 boys, like John and Jordan, the 2 of them just bounce off of each other really well. They naturally, and it might actually be a byproduct of the pandemic that these are the only people they hung around, so they have time to build their characters and bond.
I think you have a point there. Definitely.
I think that's one of the best things about the show, is just seeing how they all interact.
My heart broke a couple of times in this episode, definitely for Martha, but when Jonathan gets drunk and makes an ass of himself at the Harvest Festival and Sarah leaves, Jordan doesn't go after her. Jordan's like, "Let's go get you some water. Let's get you cleaned up before we see Mom and Dad," like taking care of his brother. Like even when they're mad at each other, they still love each other. I mean, it's very much a family, and
right.
They play that so well together, and I think that is a testament to the time they've spent together and everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is some of the best chemistry we've seen between the two of them, the two brothers, this whole season. It really that scene in particular made an impression on me. All the Harvest Fest stuff with the two of them, but even just the way that they talked about breakups and feelings and everything else was something special.
The two other quick moments for the Harvest Fest stuff concerning Clark and all that, and the flashbacks. The two other moments I just wanted to point out. I freaked about chocolate bacon. I was so excited about it. I was just as excited about Clark, and I noticed in my second viewing that Lois all of a sudden goes, and I also love the idea that this is Superman as a kid stopping a robbery. He's not going to just tie them up and leave them for the cops. He's going to make them put it back.
Yes.
Put it back.
Well, we know Clark at that age in Smallville would just throw them across the room.
He'd just give them a mild aneurysm and be on about his way.
Throw a bowling ball at their head.
Yeah.
All right. So the next segment I have is Cushing drama. Let's talk some Kyle. Let's talk some Sarah.
Okay.
Kyle hits the bottle a little bit, and I don't know. I was feeling a little tense, I would say, during that, especially that discussion between him and Sarah. What do you guys make of that?
Well, I thought the Sarah thing with Kyle was really interesting because it looks like it was kind of left to her to help her dad sometimes.
Yeah.
And then when we had that later scene where Jordan and the other kids show up all drunk and stupid, there was a good echo of it. And she just was I mean, just in her face, because I think Indy Navarrete is really good actress. Mm-hmm. She kind of looked like, don't you throw yourselves away the way that my dad is right now. I just came here to escape that crap. And then here you are doing this.
Right. I was thinking,
I thought it was well done.
Yeah. I was thinking wasn't last week she was just let's get your drugs and alcohol at this party, yada, yada, yada. But I think she had that reaction specifically because she just had almost like a PTSD thing with her father.
Yeah.
Not this again.
Yeah, it was like a trauma response to that. And I think it also, that's a really good point, Robin, about the jokes about partying and stuff. I guess it's it's one thing to joke about it. Maybe it's something she does as a defense mechanism or whatever, or to fit in. But when it really comes down to it, when she's fresh off of nursing her dad like that, and then sees these kids acting like idiots, it was kind of hard for her not to snap.
Craig,
it was very realistic.
Yeah, it was very realistic. Craig, am I wrong in remembering that early sides for Kyle not only had him as an alcoholic, but also abusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they did not go that way.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I wonder if it meant more of verbally abusive, because, I thought that was going to be dark if they had him, shoving Lana or something, which we don't need to see that at all.
I mean, I was seeing stuff after this episode where people were seeing things in this. This is why I bring this up, because some people were seeing into this scene maybe he was a little sexually abusive in the past to Sarah. Do you think? I'm they couldn't possibly be going in that direction, but it was super awkward.
No, I didn't get that vibe. I didn't get that vibe from. I guess now that you're mentioning it, Robin, I can see how maybe some folks did, but I didn't get that. Okay. I mean, the song he was singing to her isn't it's a pretty
I just took
folk
it as
tune. It's just
I just took it as an alcoholic father, and that's something she's grown up on around her whole life, and I think Lana's pretty intuitive that she would be aware if any kind of just harm was going on in general to anybody, including herself. So I don't think anything like that. I just think he can be a jackass.
Right.
But it speaks to how well Eric plays that role, because I still like Kyle.
Oh yeah, I felt so bad for him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, one of his friends is
Yeah.
in the hospital with lung damage.
Right.
yeah. Yeah, that was another thing. I was like, I would expect that reaction from him that deeply if his friend like died, but he's in the hospital and they say it's probably going to affect his career. But boy, Kyle like really like, slides after that.
He does.
Yeah.
I just think he like, as a firefighter, he might run into that kind of drama, not regularly, but
yeah, I kind of feel like that
Semi-regularly?
was there as a. I feel like that was there to show us how much Kyle feels for the community and for people around him. That he's actually quite empathetic, and that he really does love this town. He loves the people in it, and that all the stuff that he's doing, where it looks like he's, siding with Morgan Edge, it really is because it comes from this same place of loving his hometown and the people in it, and he's very empathetic to the struggles of people around him.
So yeah, Kyle is. I do wonder also if Kyle's going to be sent in like an anti-Superman direction in the show as we progress. The place was lit up by heat vision. He doesn't know, but he thinks something fishy happened, and then all of a sudden it's put out and there's frost.
Yeah.
So, could he think, oh, this is classic, Superman nonsense that we don't need in this town, and yada yada.
I keep waiting for them to cross paths. Like I keep expecting it, and it never happens. I guess it would be a little on the nose if Superman showed up in Smallville.
Yeah.
Because part of me is thinking, well, the building's on fire. It was totally reasonable to think that Superman might show up to put it out. But they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I still got vibes of like the X-Men cartoon opening when the lasers come out of the eyes.
Yeah.
Which started the fire.
Yeah.
I think we were all tweeting about that.
Yes.
Yeah. The other day.
Also, there's very weird pacing issues concerning the fire itself. It was so weird that Derek Powell lit up the place, and then there were like 3 scenes of Clark like remembering things. But we know Lana, of all people, was in that community center. Like, is Lana going to be okay?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
She's fine.
Yeah. Flashback time.
Horse stepped on her. She's in the hospital. She'll be fine.
If you're just joining us.
I mean,
we're five. Was going at a Zack Snyder pace.
We're 5 episodes in, and Lana still hasn't been in the hospital. Does this show know nothing?
Where's McAteer the Stompy Horse?
Oh, don't worry. Once they build the Smallville Medical Center set, they're going to milk it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh.
Another bit of trivia I found that this episode was originally going to be called The Beacon. And some further research, means I just looked at IMDb trivia, proved that.
Don't do that.
Well, I double checked. I didn't just. So the guy that Lana talks to when she gets to Harvest Fest, and he's like, where's Kyle? And she's like, oh, he's helping at the hospital. He'll be around.
Oh, the guy from the pilot. What's Cobb?
Cobb.
Yeah, Cobb.
Apparently, Cobb Brandon is from the comics. He has a daughter named Kathy Brandon, who is a friend of Jonathan Kent, young Jonathan Kent, and becomes the super heroine Beacon. So I wonder what they were going to do, what they were planning with this episode being called The Beacon.
Well, we might want to point out that this episode had like a story by other writers and a teleplay by Todd Helbing.
That's true.
So it could be that it changed what the episode was going to be over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was story. It was story by Todd Helbing and teleplay by Brent Fletcher and Nadria Tucker.
Yeah, this was one of Nadria's episodes.
Yeah. So, and if you want to look up the song that Kyle was saying, I thought it was a very pretty scene, and it's very emotional. It's called Cielito Lindo, which means lovely sweet one. I guess it's a traditional Mexican song played by mariachi bands mostly. So. Anything more with the Cushings, guys? Before we move on?
Robin's going to give us his cover of it right now.
Yes, that'll be. Stay tuned after the credits, and we'll
spoilers, and then the song at the end to lull you to sleep.
We'll drop it as a single in the feed after.
Be the first Shoe single in 15
I've never mispronounced lyrics to a song more than
And
Okay.
a 1, and a 2, and a...
You thought Moni Moni was bad. You'd wait, just you wait. Robin's gonna crucify this one.
I titled the next segment "Jonathan Can't." Jonathan has had it up to here.
Yeah.
He's on his last rope, and it's obviously quiet uptown if his world doesn't have Eliza in it. And
Wow.
When we saw her in the previously on Superman and Lois, I was like, "Oh, are we gonna finally meet her?"
Yeah, no.
yeah,
And then-
same.
Well,
She's just on Zoom again.
Just waiting for Helen Slater to show up and be like, "It's not weird. I love this boy."
Oh, no.
Oh,
And,
no.
don't tell Kara.
No.
Don't tell Kara.
No.
So yeah, Jonathan, after being dumped, he's sick and tired of the small town, the farming, and the yada yada yada. He wants to move.
Let's be fair. He was already sick of it. That was the straw that broke Superboy's back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so he wants to move to Metropolis. And I put in my notes here, like, you just can't do that unless you're on Red K. If you're on Red K, you can go. And,
Sure.
well, it's Red X Kryptonite here.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
gotta steal Grandpa's motorcycle out of the barn and take off.
No, ready. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's the crystal that Martha gave to Clark earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
That's Orange K.
That's why he didn't say goodbye.
Right.
That's Special
Yeah.
K, a well balanced part of everybody's cereal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's one of the
It's
strawberry flakes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Young Clark was definitely not showing his emotions very much. And yeah, I could be sold that he was on Red K. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think he was on Red K, he's just on Jerk K. Hug your mom. Ugh.
Have you
So
been drinking?
So Jonathan decides to go drink with that Wellnitz kid. I hate that guy. He was picking on Tag in the other episode, and now he's a little Mister. What is this flask wrapped in a napkin? Like, what are you trying to cover up? Everybody knows what's
Very
going on.
clear
there.
that that's a flask.
Until now, all that time, I thought they were saying walnuts. I thought that was like his nickname or something. No, that was the first time I was like, "Who's the Wellnitz kid?"
Wellnitz,
I get it.
Corey Wellnitz, and the other kid is Timmy Ryan.
Timmy.
Two first names.
Timmy.
Your first name. That's right.
And I tried looking up see if Brian Kelso. What's that? Is that a reference to anything? And I guess Brian Kelso Gillespie was an animator that worked on the Justice League movie, but that's the best I can do. I have no idea.
You're going too far down the rabbit hole, Robin.
He was also in a Darkman comic. So
Oh, that
Been
must be
watching-
it.
Been watching too much WandaVision.
It happens. Mephisto,
So, yeah,
Mephisto confirmed at the end of this episode when Tag showed up.
That was Earl Jenkins.
I believe it's Earl Jenkins. If you go back. It's spelled Jenkins, but everybody says Jenkins.
So yeah, Jonathan gets a little drunky, and I love when he's like walking with Jordan and Clark and Lois are coming from the other way, and it's like, do you honestly think you're going to cover up the fact that you've been drinking?
I mean,
Like, you're
my
not-
first thought would be get him out of the Harvest Festival because Clark's going to be there.
Like, I don't even have super breath, and I can smell that.
Yeah,
Yes, I
the whole
loved
town
it.
can
I
smell
loved it.
Yeah,
you.
the Jordan trying to like he knows his brother is in a lot of pain and he wants to just get him home, and so he's trying to cover. He's like, it's not that big of a deal, and Clark is just, excuse me.
Yeah,
The heck you say?
Yeah. Clark is not having it. I love that Lois is like, call a ride share, boys, go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly,
So-
they didn't get any product placement, or it would have been like call an Uber.
That's it.
And
Yep,
we
Yeah,
would
yep.
have
'cause
seen the logo and everything.
I was thinking of was it last week or the weeks before when Lois goes out to meet Lana and she says my ride is here, or I forget how she words it, but it's clearly not
Yeah.
Uber or Lyft.
Right.
Boys, call a lift and go home. Use promo code Clark Lois 20 for 20% off.
How much funnier would it have been if Clark just grabbed the two of them by the scruff of their clothes and super sped them home?
Actually, that'd be nice.
Just go to your room and then just gone back to the Harvest Festival.
We can go in my Yaris.
Oh God, no. Yeah, so Clark lets him off pretty easy, and they make a deal, and I'm assuming that this deal is going to be broken. The deal is basically like Clark's like, give it a little bit more time, and Jonathan's like, okay.
Yeah, that was too easy, right?
I mean, what are you going to say at that point? You got caught red-handed drinking. Like, you're only going to make matters worse.
Yeah.
All you can really do is grin and bear it at this point. I feel bad for Martha in this episode, but Martha's dead. So I can only feel so bad for that character. Mm-hmm. But watching Jonathan week to week, and it's been very subtle, but just the buildup of losing his town or city, now losing his girl, losing football, like it's just been this roller coaster of emotions for him that he's handled pretty well, all things considered, for the sake of his brother, basically. And, it's hard for a 14-year-old to comprehend things that are bigger than you and the world at large that's bigger than you. I mean, obviously Jordan got a whole lot more angry about the reveal of Clark being Superman than Jonathan did. But that's because Jordan and Clark didn't have that relationship that Jonathan and Clark had. That they bonded over things that Jordan and him could not bond over, and ultimately the role of Superman made him miss a lot of things that were important to Jordan, like therapy and sessions like that. So
Speedwagon.
Yeah, Speedwagon.
Speedwagon?
So, but to watch him just crumble under the weight of it all finally in this episode and say, this town is my kryptonite. And that's got to be rough. You don't get the abilities, whether or not you want them. You don't get to be star of the football team. Your brother, who's had no interest in sports, gets that all along. You've lost the one connection to Metropolis you had in your girlfriend, who was supposed to finally come and visit and ultimately did not. I mean, it's sad to kind of watch everything he loved or knew of his world kind of vanish before him.
When Sarah pointed out really well in episode 4, when she said something about like, he's been popular all his life, so this is harder for him.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it's true. Things were relatively easy for Jonathan his first 14 years, and now it's like the world is not his oyster, and everything is kind of going downhill for him.
It's a tough spot to be in. It's a real tough spot.
What did you guys think of the box? I wasn't sold on the box. I wasn't sold on the resolution of this, really. The deal, and Jonathan were like, okay, and then here's a box. There's nothing in it.
I wish he had said something to the box contained the Sun Crystal, which gave Clark a link to forging who he was going to become. I wish he had said something like, I want you to fill this with your future, with something that make your identity, something that gives you, I don't know. I felt like there was something missing from that dialogue that could have rounded that out a little bit better.
Yeah, this is how much I care about you. You're getting an empty box.
Yeah.
Well, this box is actually made of St. George's armor.
Sorry, you have no friends like Child Lex did.
Well, and Craig, was there not something in the official description that was like Clark finds something of Martha's that, I don't know, allows him to grieve or something? I can't remember. I feel like there was something.
I'm going to look.
Okay. He's on.
Like he stumbles upon that box towards the beginning of the episode, and he's musing on it, and then he remembers it being given to him and the crystals in it, and then he gives it to...
Is that what Lois picks up in the beginning? I missed that, and he's like, not that. Is that what...
Yeah.
Okay, I assumed that's what it was.
Oh, I did miss that. Okay.
I heard it say that, but I missed it on screen. It happened very quickly.
Yeah.
Because Clark's giving up that room, or not giving up, but he wants Lois to have that room to be able to work in as like a home office, and she's like, so many of these are your mother's things. And it's like, no, it's time to, it's time
nice.
to.
It's a nice room. It's got a little mantelpiece in there.
Yeah.
And no, he's just reminded what his mother meant to him and learns a lesson that will help him move past her death.
Right. I don't feel that.
I mean, the lesson might
a
have
bench
been
to sit on.
Maybe hug your mother before you leave town. I don't know.
Good lesson.
Yeah. Lois calls him a softie, and Clark's like, yeah, that's new. That's your influence.
Yeah.
I was a mean kid. What's up with the teen? Like every teenager on this show can say the meanest things to their
There's
elders.
nothing else to do in that town except be mean to your parents.
And that does, that it goes for Clark as well. Let's go on to our next segment, and I entitled it "The Mystery of Derek." Let's figure out Derek. What exactly is Derek?
In my best Mulaney voice. Now, we don't have time to unpack all that.
I'll just put it out there. What is Derek? What's going on with Derek? What do you guys think?
Craig?
Maybe he's a clone.
I kind of thought...
Because if Derek died, or maybe his body was just used as like a shell for a Kryptonian type thing created by the ex-Kryptonite or whatever.
I never believed that was Derek in the episode. That was my first thought. He was told what to say, obviously, in that first meeting with his mom and with Chrissy and Lois. So I don't think that was Derek.
But whoever it is clearly had some kind of a romance with Leslie Lar. And there is an alien character from the comics named Lesla Lar.
Yeah.
That's from an old Supergirl comic. I'm assuming is some kind of connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like a Davis Bloom and host Sod for one episode type deal, or Lois Lane is Feora or something.
Based on the comics, I can only assume it's Mephisto.
It's Pietro from the X-Men universe.
We're just gonna run that joke into the ground. Robin, you were talking about the machine.
Yeah.
In text last night. There's a nameplate on the machine.
It sure looks like it says Meta Inhibitor.
Why would you put what it is on this? Why would you name it?
Bat rehydrator.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
But Derek.
Yes.
No, the character Derek.
Oh, sorry. Could you say Derek Powell when you're talking about him?
No, Sergeant Powell.
Okay.
Yeah, he acts like a person that's kind of scared and stuff. And then did you notice that his voice changes though? Like when he goes, protect the asset. That's not Derek's voice. That's
why do you say that name?
Yeah, the whole thing, the first reintroduction, I guess, or no introduction because we haven't seen him before except on a flyer, versus seeing him make out with Lar, and then obviously getting in the machine and the flight battle with Superman. Yeah, I'm not buying that was ever Derek. Derek died in New Carthage, and that's just his body. That's a meat puppet.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I think that's his body, and there's some kind of experiment going on, obviously, with having to do with Morgan Edge using kryptonite to give people powers.
But what's the thing from last week that's powering this meta inhibitor? What's it called?
That's the asset. That's what he's talking about.
I understand that's the asset, but I'm like, what is the asset? What is that?
Exactly.
And why did he say you're not alone anymore or something to that effect?
Could this be some sort of Bottle City thing? It could be hooked up to this machine.
I feel like Supergirl's doing the Bottle City thing sort of right now, aren't they, Frank?
And I also think, why are you saying that he's not alone anymore when we all know that Kara is in National City?
Is she, though?
Hey, we got a Lex Luthor reference in this episode, which I was very happy about.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like Leslie might not even be Leslie. This could be some sort of this asset could contain like Kryptonian souls or.
Well, I will say of what we saw between the tall guy in the motel or the apartment and Lar,
Colossus.
Yeah, Mephisto. That Derek showed a bunch of abilities, whereas we had only seen like one or two with the other ones, and we were kind of because I was kind of like, are they experimenting with Clark's DNA? Are they not getting the whole shebang? What's going on with that? But he's shooting heat vision. He's flying with no problem whatsoever. He just takes flight, and busts through the ceiling in that place. Why did Clark not go back?
Huge problem.
I mean, I want to assume he did go back and the machine was gone. I guess Laura just kind of picked it up and walked out with it. I don't know. That's
after strapping the asset into a baby car seat. She lifted.
Like, you didn't go back and check on that machine? That's weird to me.
They pulled like a level 3 at Luthor Corp, and it's just like they walked in the room and it looked totally different.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like that sitcom trope where I went and got my headshots made, and then I went back the next day to pick up the headshots, and the whole office is gone, and the desks are cleared out. And I gave him $3,000. I don't understand.
Derek Powell was very worried, and Leslie was talking him down. He's like, if he finds out I started that fire, bad things will happen. And I'm assuming he is Morgan Edge. But like, what is it about Morgan Edge that would worry this guy who's got powers enough to kill himself?
Well, maybe he was sent to the community center or whatever to steal something. And by setting the fire, he wasn't able to get it for Morgan Edge. I'm just thinking, like something like that. Like maybe he was supposed to do something for Edge, and that's why he was in that room.
He was after Martha's puzzle box.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
But, and also, any setback for Smallville right now will set back Edge's plans for the town.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Bye-bye community center, by the way. Oh,
With that
well, if they use the right font for Smallville,
that's what I was going to say with that lovely logo on the front of it, which gives me the feels. But look, if Smallville knows how to do one thing, it's barn raising. They'll fix it in no time.
There you go.
So yeah, Beppo is trying to do some. What would Lois Lane do?
You
stuff.
keep calling her Beppo. Call her Chrissy.
Beppo. It's so much easier to say. It's so much funner to say.
Beppo.
Just call her. Listen, I closed my eyes when she was on the phone talking to Lois during that whole "What would Lois Lane do" thing. I'm like, that's Chloe dialogue. That's a whole lot of Chloe dialogue.
There was one bit of dialogue that made me so very, very much angry. And I'm over it. I love the show. But when she says big reporter energy, I was like, no, you don't drop that.
That is a Chloe Sullivan line. That's a Chloe Sullivan line.
Yeah.
But okay, I just did not like that. So
we haven't seen her do anything on her wall of weird in a couple of weeks. She needs to get back to that.
Also, we'll get to the captain and his hijinks, but the scene where he chases them down and then shoots the rocket launcher into the air, and then we get this moment of from the Harvest Festival's point of view of this explosion going off. I was hoping that moment would be funnier. Like everything stops and there's a big explosion and then everybody's like, "Yay!
Fireworks!"
I just like the auto driving Winnebago.
Yes,
that's amazing.
What's the Winnebago from Spaceballs? Is that the Eagle One? That's what I kept calling it through the whole thing.
This was the Empress.
Because we kept talking, we were like, "What is he operating out of now that the ship's blown up? Is Edge got him set up in a place? Has he got his own digs? No, he's just in a Winnebago. He's just driving around in a Winnebago.
It's that Winnebago from that one episode of Community where it's a KFC space simulator in a Winnebago.
It was Shazam's Winnebago from the 70s.
Ah, there you go.
All right, moving on to the next segment. Since we're talking about it, I called this segment "The Captain and His Wife."
Captain and Tennille.
So, first question, straight up. Since we're going to, we have to, say goodbye and R.I.P. Can we just call it Skeets? It's Skeets, right? That the little thing that Luther is talking to. And then smashes at the end.
I mean, I just thought
Gideon
that was
3.0.
I just thought that was that iteration of it. Like, I fully expected him to destroy that one, and then she starts talking from the dashboard. And another.
He keeps destroying his tech.
I can't.
William Daniels was busy.
Michael. Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
I'd be into that.
I keep getting more and more intrigued by Luther week after week. Like they
still haven't said his first name.
They haven't
on the air,
even though there's been other things have been mistakenly said. But I keep referring to him as Captain or Captain Phillips or Captain Luther. I just call him Captain Phillips. Obviously, we get the jaw-dropping reveal in this episode that on his world, he and Lois were an item. And I assume most everything about that Lois is the same, that she was a journalist on that world and everything, because he says everything about her is the same.
Except she married the other guy.
Except she was
the wrong guy.
With him.
Yeah. That does make it a little awkward because I almost predicted that by the end of the season, he would be like a good guy and stick around.
Yeah.
But now that there's the awkward angle of, she's sort of his ex from another world, I don't know if they can pull that off.
Here's a question I had. So, Siri, what are we calling her? We need a name.
Mel Torme's daughter.
Yes, exactly. Or granddaughter.
Oh, granddaughter. Okay.
We need a name.
Daisy Torme plays AI device is what she's billed as.
We need a Mayor Goldie Wilson type name for her. Or something. But anyway, harkening back to our Krypton days.
Mayor. Hey.
For the time being, I will just call her Siri.
Okay.
As everyone who's listening to this, their phones go off. Sorry, guys.
No, you have to say hey first.
Alexa, order toilet paper.
No, don't do that one.
You can't do that.
Hey Siri, make me a new suit of armor and find me some kryptonite.
So everybody got so mad at us just then. She's reading the biometrics on Superman while in flight during the battle. The race with Derek. So could she not read the biometrics of Clark sitting on the park bench and know that that's Superman? Does he not know that?
I thought he knew.
To this point, I've been led to believe that he does not realize that Superman and Clark are one and the same.
Yeah, I don't think he does. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense for him to know.
But then then I'm like, well, if she's scanning him, is she not scanning the same thing when he's across the street? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Well, I mean,
REO
you're not
Speedwagon
wrong.
rabbit hole.
That's it. You're not wrong about that, but it's just that it wouldn't make sense. He's following Lois, yes, because she's his ex from another world, but he's following Lois because he knows that Superman tends to not be far behind wherever she goes. So that implies that he doesn't know who Superman is. He's just following the lead.
Other than the motel scene, has Lois been on screen with Clark in suit with Superman at all in the entire series so far? Other than flashbacks, the fortress.
No. Other than flashbacks, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think so.
I couldn't think of one either. I was just wondering.
Yeah, all the Supermaning is happening outside of the town. That is Supermaning in plain sight.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that scene in the diner between Luthor and Lois. Just she thinks he's a little fishy, but he's like he's saying he's a reporter from Reuters named Marcus Bridgewater, and she says, "Oh, that sounds familiar." I Googled, of course, Marcus Bridgewater, and I discovered that there is a Marcus Bridgewater who calls himself Garden Marcus, who is a TikTok influencer. He's a gardener. He spouts out positivity and wisdom and stuff like that. Apparently a source of joy for many who follow him.
We have to get the internet away from you. It's not a healthy. It's not a healthy.
Look up some Garden Marcus and just put Captain Luther in there and just be like, the captain's here from another reality. He's really into raising pineapples. It's good for him. Yeah. So Lois was definitely put off by him, especially towards the end where he's like, yeah, I know a way. I got to get into those mines. I've got my ways. And she's like, it doesn't sound very legal. But by the end of the episode, she's like, yeah, I've got to find a way into those mines. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh boy, she's going to go looking for him without telling Clark, I'm sure. Now there's your triangle, by the way. If Lois at all entertains that as a triangle, I'm going to be very irritated.
No.
Nah,
not at all.
After all the lovey-dovey stuff, come on, don't do that to us.
I will say I desperately, and I know they're only giving us the glimpses because that's all we need right now. I need more answers about this Earth and the implications of crisis and what it means for. I hope those that have been constantly saying, "Oh, it's the future," are now finally off that, given this reveal.
Well, we do know David Ramsey's going to guest star at some point.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe even the episode that he directs.
Yeah. Diggle comes to town.
So
yeah, the captain is an Army Ranger, according to his suit. So I don't know if that means anything, but just interesting, more stuff to fill into his bio.
He's a Winnebago pilot, the best of the best.
Also, you mentioned it earlier. Lois references Lex Luthor, saying he's the only human being worse than Morgan Edge, and the captain responds with, "Guy definitely has his secrets." So is he talking about himself, or is he like familiar with like cousin Lex?
Cousin Lex. He's the Coy and Vance of this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of our first mention of something outside of this world.
Which is interesting because the pilot script had a reference to the Flash. That was cut.
Right. Because it was actually in reference to Luthor talking about how fast he moved. That seems more like the Flash's territory or something.
But I think it's good. I think it's good they've kept these first 5 episodes separate.
Absolutely.
Because I got a lot of questions like, well, what do I have to watch before I watch this? I'm like, nothing.
Right.
You can just go in blind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And all you need
You're
to know
in the middle of a mirror storyline.
All you need to know is they have twins. Whether instantly or after 27 hours of labor, either way, but still.
Right.
We talked in spoilers, and we can say that more for the end of the episode, but we talked in spoilers last time about what the introduction of Diggle would mean as a whole for this corner of the CW verse. So I don't know. Right now they've played in their own sandbox and done very well with it, but that Luthor mention did definitely perk my ears up a little bit, solely for the fact, yes, I'll get on my soapbox, I would like one scene between John Cryer and Tyler Hoechlin where they actually communicate with each other. Whatever.
Read Crypt on site in about a week.
Okay.
I was told there would be no math. Yeah, I don't know. I love Cryer's Lex. Definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Just absolutely. That's the best thing, in my opinion, that has come out of Supergirl.
You know who else loves Cryer's Lex? Valerie Perrin. She
I saw
about
that
it this
tweet.
week.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The last part of this episode that we haven't discussed is the fact that Tag is back. And what is he wearing?
That is a Professor Xavier jumpsuit.
I don't. Maybe I thought that was his Power Ranger suit. I don't know.
Well, the trailer for 106 does give us a better look at the suit.
Oh, okay.
That
it's got a crow on it. I know that.
Go Crows.
Is it a crow or an eagle?
Maybe it was a crack uniform from school.
I thought it was Professor Xavier's School for the Gifted jumpsuit. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, they did mention there was a school for superpowered teens in episode.
I figured that's what he's wearing, whatever he came out of.
Yeah. Are they playing with us? What's going on with that? Also, I don't know if you noticed, but when Derek was about to kill himself, which, by the way, I never thought of that as a way for somebody with Kryptonian powers to kill themselves. Just be like, I'm just going to set off my heat vision with my eyes closed, and that'll just irradiate my body. But yeah, right before he's about to kill himself, you notice he was vibrating. He was shaking quite a bit, and here is Tag doing the same thing. Yeah. So is Tag? I'm assuming they're going to be like, oh, you're a prime candidate to get ass-setted.
I'm just a little scared that
resurrected.
It would be good drama, but it would just hurt to watch if, for example, maybe Jonathan was an asset, because he doesn't have powers and he goes down there. Like, I think it would be depressing to watch, but it would be great drama.
True.
So
as long as he didn't die in the end, and then he got cured.
Yeah, he'll find a way to get cured, but
holograms.
There you go.
Is that it for this one?
That's it.
All right. For 2 months.
That's it.
We just got here. We had to wait so much longer because of COVID, and now we have to wait.
I know.
We've got a couple emails. We'll read real quick. Chris, that emailed us last week talking about the extended cuts of the episodes, wrote in again and said, thank you for letting me know about the extra scene in episode 2. I'm almost certain that the scene you mentioned was in the Canadian live broadcast for episode 2, which is interesting. I'll be curious to hear what they are going forward to see if it continues. Apparently, per Frank, it does not. The last 2 episodes have not, while they've been billed as extended cuts, there's not been an additional scene.
I've gone in. I mean, I'm not, as you guys mentioned, I think on last week's episode, if you get the digital cuts on Apple or Amazon, wherever you buy them, it's been the extended cut. I haven't done that, but I've checked the CW app, and the last 2 weeks have been the same as what aired on TV, and they're not labeled as extended either. So I don't know if that was just for
they're promoted as that.
The CW app, or the website, CWTV.com, freezes my computer after 2 commercial breaks, and I never get to the end, so I can't see what the extended scenes are.
I
have no idea what they are.
I think the 3rd episode, I got in a loop, and every time the commercial break would end, it would start over again, and it just kept repeating the commercial breaks over and over.
It's really not good
on the Apple TV app. Yeah, after all this discussion, I couldn't even remember. We figured out, obviously, the Lana scene from episode 2, the Lana and Clark scene at the barbecue, was in the extended cut and made it to the digital versions, as Frank said, of Apple and stuff like that. And then we talked about whatever the 3rd one was, and I just completely have gone blank, COVID fog, on whatever that additional scene was. I know we talked about it.
I think it was the Clark and Lois scene. In the gym, in the locker room, I think Bitsy tweeted that.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so.
I don't even remember. But then 4 and 5 didn't even have additional moments. So
no.
So are you saying release the Hellbing cut?
So Chris goes on to say, somebody gave Frank too much money. He's that machine he's got. Chris says, I'm a returning listener. Used to listen to you guys with your Smallville podcast. You can drop a quarter in the jar. When I bring the jar next time, I will.
That jar is definitely going to happen.
And then CT emails us. CT says, did you catch that Derek Powell told Superman, now you won't be alone? Oh, I haven't even read this email. No, I'm reading it on the air now. Doesn't the world know he's related to Supergirl? Shouldn't this be common knowledge? Additionally, and this is more relative to an earlier episode, Lois mentioned that she knew what she was getting into when she started to date Clark regarding him having a second job as Superman. Does that mean that she knew he was Superman before they started to date. I'm trying to think back when in the opening montage of the pilot, when he reveals when they're in Smallville.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean, I feel like that could be like a first date kind of thing. I mean, he definitely trusted her by that point, and surely they had interaction as Superman and Lois by that point, I would think.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it. I don't think that it was when they started dating, but probably early on.
What do you think, Robin?
I'm sorry, I was thinking about a completely different thing. Can I bring this little point up though?
Absolutely.
I was listening to a review of Superman Returns on a different podcast, and I was reminded of the whole thing, how people were like initially put off by the fact that like Brandon Routh's Superman did a lot of spying on people. And then I was thinking after, I was like, wait a second, was that what Lois was referencing? Was that like a kind of a comment on the how people saw that as like very creepy?
Huh. I didn't even think of that. That's if true, I like that.
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, CT, per your Supergirl question, I don't know. And the reason I don't know an answer to that is because we don't really know what Derek Powell was.
Right.
No.
Whether he was a Kryptonian, whether there is some sort of bottle thing going on with that whole asset that Edge picked up. When was it? 6 years earlier? What was that?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
6 years ago when
little Sophie was in a pod.
No, you're going down that road again, and I'd rather you not. All
right. Well, she was wearing a cowboy hat this week, and let's just say she was trying to blend in. Speaking of blending in,
you know who else wears a cowboy hat? Gus in Superman 3. Where's the connection?
Molded plastic chairs.
Molded plastic chairs. As did Brad. I kind of, the Superman 3 lover in me wishes Kyle was named Brad. I mean, he was
Kenny Braverman.
He was a drunk. Well, yes, that. Then we could have a conduit episode. But
conduit captain.
I mean, he was in love with Lana. I mean, make him Brad.
Yeah, everybody on Smallville was in love with Lana. So you can be any number of people.
Yeah, make him Tina Greer. I mean,
what a twist,
Whitney.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Derek, if you're ever back on social media, can you put in your bio Superman 3 lover?
Absolutely.
All right. Just that.
I am a Superman 3 apologist.
Yes, make your handle Superman 3 apologist.
Now that we're a year into this pandemic, it's my turn for a birthday live read, and
Superman 3 it is.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Would you like to be Richard Pryor?
No. No, nope. I don't think 2021's the year for that. I don't think.
You don't think you should be Gus Gorman?
No,
really?
I don't think so at all.
Do you want to be the lady who gets?
I will absolutely be fake Brainiac. Yes, I would love that. Is that it for this one?
Is that you have the email box in front of you?
Yeah, that's it for emails. Is that for it for the episode?
Well, we have our plugs to do, or we have to say thank you to Craig for joining us.
Absolutely.
And
thank you for having me on.
Anytime.
This is a great show. Great podcast, but also Superman Lois is a great show.
Well, we really hope this Krypton site thing takes off one of these days.
As somebody,
I just need people to realize it still exists.
Who could be watching Superman and Lois that love Smallville and doesn't know that Krypton site is still around and still the best source of news on a week-to-week basis for this show? I mean, it takes me back when I go on the website. I mean, it's full on. When I pull it up, it's 2005 for me all over again.
I paid Derek to say that.
Yeah, checks in the mail. No, it really does. I mean, that was like season 3-ish of Smallville, Quarter in the Jar. I mean, that was when I was, or season 2. I mean, I had memorized Kryptonian and the alphabet and all that stuff. But I was in the forums, man. I was.
When did we first meet at the Glover Alzheimer's Walk?
summer between season 5 and season 6.
Okay, I didn't know he did it that many years. You could be right.
I think. Is that the first time we met?
In person.
Maryland? Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, God, that's a lifetime ago. Jeez. But yes, please, KryptonSite.com.
It was still before Alex Garfin was born.
That's not saying much. I think 9/11 was before Alex was born, wasn't it?
I think 9/11 is around when Jordan Elsass was born. And I'm not joking.
So,
I think he was born a month before Smallville.
So right around the pilot, I was going to say. That's insane. Yeah. That is insane to me to think of. God.
Well, they were babies last year, so.
They were. Well, and there was only one of them at that.
Actually, yeah.
So, yeah. That's even crazier. Boys? So yes, KryptonSite.com, KSite TV, and all of the fantastic shows. I keep telling Craig he needs to start a Cobra Kai website. Robin?
I'm behind on the show.
You push him toward that a little bit?
It is an awesome show.
It is a good show. It's a great show, actually.
It is an awesome
and the movie's better, just saying.
So you can find us
knew who
online.
the bad guys were in that show.
You can find us online, SupermanTVTalk.com and at Superman TV Talk on Twitter.
Now I hear the Mighty Ducks are bad guys. Now come on,
Don't.
What?
I can't stay up all night to watch that. But
on Captain Luthor's world, Superman's a bad guy.
That's true.
He probably also snapped Zod's neck and just stood there when his dad got taken away in a tornado.
You didn't know that world of thing.
We said we weren't going to go down that road, but you guys keep pulling at that thread a little bit, don't you?
No, I think it would be really ridiculous if a movie ever did that. I don't think it would ever really happen.
I agree.
That was a bad time to take a drink. Anyway, at Superman TV Talk on Twitter and at Starkville's House of L on Starkville, plural, singular, at Starkville House of L on Instagram. Frank will be back next week with Supergirl TV Talk.
Frank will return in Supergirl TV Talk.
Wanda Maximoff will return in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
So I'll be very interested to see how that plays out, given how Supergirl's last season ended with COVID, the very abrupt ending, and seeing how, and obviously that trailer was...
Heck of a trailer, huh?
Yeah, but seemed very focused on...
One scene?
Seemingly?
We've got Lex. Yeah,
basically.
Hey, I'd show him off too. Crier is killing it all the time there. So if you are not sticking around to hear about spoilers for an episode that airs 2 months from now, we will see you when we return. But if you are, check us out after the music. We'll be talking about episode 106. I've already forgotten the name of it.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Smells like Teen Spirit. You are correct, sir. Craig, thank you for joining us again.
Thanks again for having me.
Bye, everybody.
We're always around.
Clearly not.
If you ever need to find all you have to do is look up.
Everybody looks up.
I want the truth. What did you do to me? Do you understand how dangerous this can be?
He's not ready for this. Things are different now.
Your powers come with responsibility. I need you to get that.
I thought these powers would bring me closer to people. All they do is bring me farther away.
Something sinister is going on here.
To figure out what's wrong, you need to tell Dad.
I need to incapacitate a threat.
Take him out! Wait!
Superman and Lois. New episodes return May 18th. Free next day only on the CW app.
There is a lot going on there. That is the trailer for the upcoming episode 106, Smells Like Teen Spirit, on the CW, which, while we were left with a huge cliffhanger, 2 huge cliffhangers, the return of Tag attacking Jordan, and the reveal that Captain Luthor and Lois were entangled on his Earth. We've got to wait 2 months to find out some resolutions to that, and that trailer only gives us more questions. We do see Tag return, as we saw in this episode, but we see a longer version of that scene play out. And there is a better shot of his suit.
Okay.
But I still can't quite make out what it says. So, oh, wait. Yes, I can. Department. Oh, hold on, Robin. This new computer is magical. Give me 1 second here. Enhance.
Is it Department of Defense?
Enhance. Zoom. Vamp for me, Robin.
Department of Extra Normal Operations.
Load up on guns. Bring your friends.
Department of Defense. It is Department of Defense. So there you go. That's what we were trying to figure out. At the
that's where the special school was.
Yeah.
That's what Sam's working for.
So there you go.
Sam.
So he left in his gym clothes.
Project 7734.
I mean, it is very much an Xavier style jumpsuit. I'll just say
I think they're playing with us.
This episode seems to heavily weigh in on. Craig, do we have an official description for 106 yet?
We won't have it until about 3 weeks before it airs.
Yeah, I figured it was.
It's like a month away.
I wondered with COVID hitting if that had impacted anything. But obviously, we see that this episode will deal heavily with Jordan, and coming into a little bit of his own with his abilities. We see him throwing a punch and doing a few other things. And I'm wondering, there's a shot here at the end where Sam Lane's talking to somebody on the phone. I guess his buddy. What's his name, Robin?
Oh, God. Reno Rossetti?
Nevada.
Rossetti, yeah. Talking about taking out an asset. And there's somebody, so I don't know if it's made to look like this, because this soldier with a gun at the 24-second mark, if you're watching the CW version of the trailer, he is armed and ready with a very odd looking gun. But the next shot where it's made to look like whatever he's pointing at is Superman standing over Jordan in the woods, and I think it's made to look like the guy is drawing a weapon on Jordan, but I assume that's probably him talking down Tag in the woods. Really, that's a little bit of a bait and switch. I don't know, but the trailer does remind us that you won't be seeing anything that happens until Tuesday, May 18th, because that is when the show returns. So what happens on May 18th to Supergirl? Does it then go on hiatus?
It goes on hiatus, and then once Superman and Lois is done with their 10 weeks, Supergirl will return for its last 13 episodes, I believe.
Interesting.
Keep Frank busy. That's
so there'll be, there's going to be new super content until like September, and then the new season will be starting.
Or until I die, whichever comes first.
If Supergirl's ending could match right up with the beginning of Superman and Lois' second season, I think that's what we all need.
Well, that's when my podcast sabbatical begins.
That's when the drinking commences.
Well, what I'd like to see is, because I kind of like the universe feeling separate on Superman and Lois, as I've said, but I would like to see like Tyler and Bitsy on Supergirl before it's done.
That would be nice.
Even if it's just to see her off as she goes into the future with Mon-El or something.
Is that the general consensus? That's kind of what I assumed that they were going to do.
I feel like they're going to have to take her off the board, or we'll just expect to see her every week.
Yeah. More going on in this episode. We see Edge and Lar standing outside the mines. We see Lois inside the mines in a hard hat, and it looks like she has discovered the X-Kryptonite. So that will be interesting. We also heard her tell the line that something sinister is going on here, and you would think she would be telling that to Clark or Chrissy, but she's actually telling it to Lana, of all people. So that is interesting as well. That's most of it. It's a pretty quick trailer, a lot of flashes, but yes, mostly reminding you that no new episodes for a while, which is just hard to fathom. But
hang on tight, they say.
Yeah, hang on tight for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know when Diggle is showing up, when all that's going down, Craig?
All we know is that he's directing episode 7.
7.
And I do not know if that's when he's showing up. And I would assume his appearance would be in the first 13 if they thought they only had 13.
Right.
Episode 7 is Man of Steel, too.
That's the one that's called Man of Steel?
Well, that's not confirmed yet.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
That's because I know one of the Flash titles that came out recently was not accurate. And, of course, this episode was originally known as The Beacon.
Right.
So, I mean, it could be, but it's not confirmed yet, which is why I have not posted it.
If you didn't see it on Krypton site,
not real, except
Not
for
real.
April 1st.
Except for April 1st.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Everything's real.
We've got this covered. Accuracy.
No, I'd still buy into Krypton site on April 1st before I bought into anything on We've Got covered. The other
you
three.
go through the Krypton site archives, and I've been right a couple times. I even said Ezra Miller would be in Crisis, and I was joking.
You.
That's right.
Yeah, you have definitely over the years pulled out a few that came to fruition. Definitely. So yeah, that's where we're at, and it's going to be a little while. I'm not saying we won't have an episode in between. I feel like knowing us, we'll surely make something happen. With or without
I'll have
Frank.
7 or 8.
Yeah, Frank's busy. But we'll definitely be back at some point before May 18th, which just seems like a crazy time to even say right now. But then I remember March of last year seems like 3 weeks ago. So all that to say, thank you again,
May
Craig.
18th feels like it should be season finale time.
Yeah, it does. Thank you again, Craig, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Robin, thank
Good
you
to
for
have you.
joining us.
Oh, yeah, it's been a pleasure.
We appreciate your 87 pages of notes.
I'll be back for more math
Next time, Gadget.
next time.